Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week we're taking a look at some winter gloves and seeing if they work for bicycle riding. But before we get into today's video, if you're new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss this awesome cycling content on this channel. So like I said, today we're trying some winter gloves out and seeing whether they would work as cycling gloves. That's one of my biggest questions I get sometimes during the winter is, what do I even wear during the winter? What do I wear to keep riding and stay warm and comfortable while still being able to control everything on my bike really well? So I get that question a lot. So when a company named achiou reached out to me and said, hey, we want you to try out some winter gloves, I said, yes, I can answer the question for some of you guys now on what works the best for winter gloves. So today we're looking at one of the ones I hear the most, and that's going to be ski gloves. A lot of people who live in a colder climate, they own ski equipment already. They're already skiing in the mountains in the winter. Will those gloves work for riding a bike? So would they work? So achiou sent me out a pair of ski gloves here. So I got some nice black and orange ski gloves here. Kind of nice. Orange is my favorite color, so I picked orange. So what's the big deal? So let's talk about these ski gloves here. So first off, they're kind of a bigger glove. It's kind of one of the things with the ski gloves, they are a bigger glove. These do have tons of insulation. These have the 3M Thinsulate in here, which I really like in my gloves in the winter. That's what I wear in my normal winter gloves. I wear just around to do work and stuff like that. It's the 3M Insulate. It works really good. I like that insulation quite a bit without being super overly bulky, but they are definitely a bigger glove here. And part of that is these are to protect you from your hands even getting wet. So they have quite a bit of layers in there to keep your hands from getting wet and keep your hands from getting cold. These are an extra large size here. For my big hands, you just measure your hand based on their sizing chart. You'll find whatever size you need. Let's go ahead and throw one of these guys on. So ski gloves, they tend to have kind of a elastic band kind of right here, as well as a Velcro strap. Keep them tight around your wrist. That way you don't get any snow, or actually really it's the snow. Don't get any snow inside your wrist, and keeps the heat right where your hands are. So there's one of them there. You can actually see how big that glove is versus just your standard hand. It definitely has, I feel like, some grip here. It kind of feels like a rubberized grip right here. So I feel like it might work pretty good on a bicycle grip. I don't know. We'll find out on that though. See if it actually works good. We can bend all of our fingers still, so big benefit there. The thumb, I don't know how it's gonna work. We'll see how it works with shifting. So you can definitely move your fingers around some, so I feel like you could get your break there. Overall, they're pretty warm. They're warm gloves. That's kind of the big point of these is you're skiing in the snow, you want to stay warm and comfortable. So that definitely goes on there. Let's go ahead and throw the other one on too. There you go. So there's our gloves there. One thing I do like is how far up past the wrist they come. So I mean, my wrist is right here. So I mean, they come down much farther up. So you could, whatever jacket you're wearing, you can either stick it inside of here or your jacket goes over it. Lock it down. You kind of have two layers in this part of your wrist right here where, you know, if you're riding in the snow or wet conditions, water is going to get, what's kind of one of the spots water tends to find its way into is seeping in the back of your glove or seeping up into your jacket onto your arm. So kind of nice. You can definitely tell they're big. Oh, they're big. So they're bigger. I think they'll work. Let's see. So you can bend your fingers pretty good. You don't get your tip of your fingers though, so you can only really bend at that one knuckle. The other one doesn't really bend much, or you can't really see it in the glove. So ski gloves, will they work on a bike? Let's go find out. We got the Poseidon Norton behind me, which has a lot of the controls a standard mountain bike would have, and so we're gonna test, see if it works, see if we can, you know, hit our brake levers, see if we can shift okay, see if we can activate our dropper post, see how they feel on just a standard pair of grips or not. So we're gonna try all of that out on this bike. Now my winter bike normally is my fat bike hiding back there. It's actually a single speed, so that's why we're trying it on the mountain bike here. See if it actually works with all the bells and whistles you can get on a bike now. So story you guys up on my head. Let's go take it for a ride, see how these gloves actually work. And now, of course, today in Reno it's not exactly cold. It's 55 degrees outside. So I mean, it's about as cold as it's gonna get in the middle of September. But by the time you guys see us, come on, it's gonna be starting to get colder. Hopefully it's another month or so, then it starts to get colder. So it's not exactly the coldest day, but we'll definitely be able to tell if these can cut the wind. That's the biggest thing for me here in Reno is the wind. That just kills your fingers, kills all your joints. The wind is cold, and it is windy outside. So these should give us a good test of that, and we'll be able to see if our hands actually stay warm. So let's head outside and get riding. All right, it feels a little weird wearing ski gloves and short sleeves, but gotta do what you gotta do. Gotta test these gloves out, right? Okay, so riding with these guys on, they have a lot of play to them. So let's see, so dropper post works okay. Works good so far. So they have a lot of movement in them. So like on these grips, they move a lot. Without, like, I am holding the grips right now and they still move quite a bit. So I don't know if I'd feel super comfortable, you know, ripping down a trail with these, because they move a lot. Like a lot. If I was shredding down a hill, start hitting some bumps, your hands aren't gonna stay in place very well. Because I'm grabbing as tight as I can right now, and they just move. And I don't know how I feel about that. So that's one thing right there. Let's see, go for the brakes. Okay, so they work. They work pretty good for the brakes. Again, you don't have much of that small knuckle movement. So that's one problem. So let's go for shifting. Shifting is not too bad. Let's see, let's go dropper post again. Yeah, this is the weirdest thing. That your hand moves in the installation. Like the bottom of the hand actually is staying still. It's actually your hand moving. It's the weirdest thing. So, hand moving, kind of a weird thing. Kind of a weird thing. Brakes, you could get used to it. They do feel a little weird because you can't really bend that small joint on your fingers very well. So you just don't get, I feel like, get good engagement on it. And they do the same thing. You put your fingers on your grips, you brakes like you normally would, it slides. And it moves around quite a bit. So I will say my hands are warm. That wind isn't touching them today. It does work. It does feel okay. There's some flaws to them, and there's some good things to them. So let's go talk about them. So let's talk about those pros and cons, and then we'll talk about whether ski gloves really are the best option for cycling. So do ski gloves go good with bikes? Do they make a good cycling glove? So as we talked about as we were riding, they have some pros and cons. So pros, of course, we'll start with first. They definitely keep your hands warm. My hands are nice and toasty right now. It's windy outside. They feel pretty good. Feel nice and toasty and no wind problems at all. Now obviously it's not raining or snowing, so I can't test, you know, waterproofness, but being that they're ski gloves, I'd assume they stand up to a decent amount of wetness, you know, whether it's snow, rain, whatever that may be. I assume they stand up to that. Now they do grip the bars really well, or the grips at least. That has a pro and con to it. The pro is that it does grip really well. This bottom section does grip onto the grip very well. The con comes in when, if you have a circle grip, kind of like a standard grip you would find on like a mountain bike or most flat bar bikes, it's gonna roll. It's gonna roll. They don't stay very still. They move. The outside layer moves separate from the inside layer. So your hand, so while the palm of the glove stays still, your hand actually moves around that one spot. Kind of like so. It moves a little bit. So kind of a con there. However, I did try it on a couple other bikes just to see if it was just the grips or what it could be. If you have like an ergon grip or like a drop bar bike, they don't do it as much. They really don't do it anything. These are like really bad. Just like your standard grips, it does it really bad. But if you have ergon grips that kind of flare out at the end, or even drop bars on your bike where it's not just a circle, it works good. They actually work up pretty good on those. Now the other con I noticed, you can't bend your finger. You can't bend your finger. You can't bend really this knuckle here. It doesn't move separately than the glove. So your braking feel is really weird. It doesn't work as well as you feel like it should because your finger doesn't bend quite like that. Your finger only does that. So that's one of the cons I'd have, is braking on there. I don't know how good that would actually be, especially if you were really trying to brake in wet conditions. You kind of want the best braking ability you can in those cases. So I don't know how well those would work exactly. So they keep your hands warm. They work okay on the bars, and not the best, but they work okay. Can you use ski gloves as a winter cycling glove? I would say depending what you're doing on your bike, you can. If you're mountain biking, probably wouldn't choose a ski glove. If your hand to move too much, you wouldn't have braking control. I probably wouldn't use a ski glove for mountain biking. Now if you're just commuting or even riding on the road on like your drop bar bike, probably would work okay, because you're commuting, you're not really hitting huge bumps on the road or anything like that. Not really gonna have a huge problem with that. And then for a drop bar bike, you're really not gonna have the problem with it sliding around a lot. You can still reach the brake levers fine. So in the case of that, this would work pretty good in those two cases. For everything else, I'd probably find a different glove, but these would work pretty good. These work better than I thought they would, to be fair. So I'll say this here, if you guys are interested in checking out a pair of cool ski gloves, check these guys out. I'm gonna have a link in the description down below so you can pick them up here for yourselves. A big thank you to achiou for sending these gloves out for me. That way I can see if ski gloves make it good, a cycling glove or not. If you guys enjoyed the video, or at least found it entertaining, or maybe learned something, give this video a big thumbs up, appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comment section below. Love talking to you guys, love answering questions you guys have, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.